What? That's not right. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. Oh, wait. Well, if y'all don't mind, I'll go ahead and start if y'all okay. Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. Because I'll be 10 seconds behind on the thing anyway. Oh, are you? Oh, God. Okay. Oh, what's the plan? Oh. Yeah. Well, if you have, okay, so you're in 42 or 2 right now? Or, wait, or is that, no. Oh, okay. Yeah, when you get in there, talk to Dr. Crone. He's the person who takes care of that sequence. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm just gonna complete the thing I started last time, and then I'll move on. So it's not a whole lot. So, but I didn't mean to interrupt y'all's conversation. So, yeah. Oh, any questions? Oh, good. Yeah. Let's do that. Here. I forgot it. 2 days in a row in dynamic. Nobody really said anything to me about it in that class. Oops, wrong button. Okay, so soda pop. How about that? Make it one word. I don't know. I'm running out of words. How about that? I'll keep coming up with different ones though. All right, so we kind of set this up so that, the book, which I probably should reference this. Here, let me go in and reference this so that you can see not just, okay, get there, not just that they're different, but how they're different. So let me just pick one. So here's a typical problem. So what he's doing, and it turns out he's doing the same thing, it's just I'm formulating it a little bit different. So what he does, let's just look at this for a minute. I don't know why that's the way it is. That's weird looking. That really looks weird. It's like they decided that it was going to be one example and then changed the number. I see a 2 and then I see a 3, 2 points and a 1 and a 7. I don't know, I got a faulty PDF or something. So what he does is he essentially does the same thing. So he's looking at B, he's calling them F's. I've been calling them T for tension. So he's showing the force going up here, and if you want to get to that point, it looks weird, but you go 3 backwards, up 8, and then back 4. So he goes 3 backwards. He's going back here and then up 8. And then he divides by the length of that vector, multiplies times the scalar, and you get these 3 values, the 3 numbers in the FB in each one. Then he turns and does it for C. So I'm just laying this out so that you see that I'm actually doing the same thing, but instead of writing the extra in between, maybe I'm shortchanging it. Maybe, I don't know. Heads back 3, up 8, and forward 4. Goes back. Then there's 8, and you got the same length. So not too surprising. You see some of the same numbers here as up here, except this one's a positive, that one's a negative. So you see all that. He's basically making this, hang on, okay, it's not listening to me. He's making this his unit normal, or his unit vector, that's his unit vector. And he has his FD, which just runs that way. And then what he does is he puts them together. So that's what we're doing. But then what I do, I don't think he does list it kind of as a matrix. And if you look at it, you could take this and turn it into matrix form. And what you find out is the coefficients. If you find, like, here's the FB, here's your FB, and here's your FB. If you look at the numbers, that should be the I component, the J, and the K. So what you see is the unit vector. You see the unit vector off of FC, and then you see the unit vector off of FD, and then you got your 40 that you move to the other side. But he says just solve it. But I focus on first listing them as X, Y, Z, and then focusing on the columns and making this the connection that these are the base vectors. And so let's continue that. So I'm not doing anything different that he's doing. it's just, instead of writing the extra part, you know, if you look back at the last 2 lectures, you'll see me sort of formulate this. And at that point, you realize, hey, shoot, each one of these is the unit vector in the direction of that. So I'm making the matrix straight up. And so there's nothing really different about what I'm doing. So, looks like I need to deal with this one. So, I did that over here. Let's see. I didn't finish it though. So I was looking at the unit vector in AC. I got over here to this, and I was like, okay, I need to finish this up. So the unit vector AC is nothing more than the vector AC over the magnitude of the RAC. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to re-enter these all back, because I'm sure I had them at one time, but I don't anymore. So in other words, RAC, here, let me move it here a second. Okay, RAC is equal to 2, and then a space or a comma, minus 6, space or a comma, and there's my vector. So if I want to know UAC, that would be RAC divided by the norm, okay, RAC. Did I type that all right? So I get this. So 28571. So UAC, is that minus or plus? Okay, 0.28571. Got to be plus, minus 0.85714 J plus 0.42857 K. So now I got that. So what I'm going to do, this time I didn't write it at an angle. So I'm happy about that. And so here I found this unit vector. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy that unit vector. I'm not going to move it, I'm going to copy, Control C. I'm going to head over here, and I'm going to put it maybe right there. Okay, so now I'll be able to just go in here and say, copy this one. Oh no, is it not listening to me? This dumb thing. Hang on. Okay, I hit enter. Come on, computer. It should come back exactly where it was. Okay. And hopefully allow me to select a different pin. Yeah. Don't know why it does it. So I'll copy those. 0.28571 minus 0.85714.42857. Okay, and the last one is one in which I made a comment about earlier. I think I'll just copy the picture from here. I'll copy the picture. I'll slide it over here. Drop the picture right there. Now, what I did is I went ahead on this one and pointed the vector towards D from A. I'm pretty sure that this little member is going to be in compression, which means it's going to flip over. But I'm doing this on purpose and letting you know that if it flips, it's telling you the direction you've assumed is the other way. So I have picked purposely, let me use this. You're kidding. Okay. Well, I guess I'm stuck. in this pen, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so I have picked that. So I'm going to draw R from A to D. And so what I'm going to do, I don't know which way I want to go first, but I'll go this way first till I hit here. And then I'm going to go that way. And you notice I don't go any in the X. It's basically, I kind of see this as he's lining this up directly under that. So I get a 0I. And as far as the J, I'm going back. This is a minus 6J. This is a minus 2.5K. And so now if I want the unit vector going in that direction, I got to put RAD over RAD. Man, all of a sudden I'm hungry. Okay, so I'm going to slide down here, go back to this, and I'll just say RAD is equal to, I get a nothing, space or a comma, minus 6, space or a comma, minus 2.5, and yeah, I mean, I can just copy it down. So the unit vector UAD is equal to RAD divided by the norm, or the length of RAD. Okay, so it's easy. The first one's pretty easy. You know what? I'm going to write it underneath it because I'm going to copy it. UAD equals to 0I. And I'm writing that because there is going to be a location in that matrix that I'm going to need to know. So I'm going to write it anyway. 0.92308 J, come on, slide over, minus 0.38462K. And unfortunately I wrote it at an angle, but okay. So I'm going to copy this thing. I'm going to slide back over here. And this time I'll just put it right here. Let me move it up a little bit. So, hey, I don't know. I'll just stick to the pen and change the colors in the pen. Okay. So this one goes here. I do have an entry that I have to put. Why did it do this? It changed the size too. Okay. I do have an entry I need to put. Oh, it's not letting me. Okay, yeah. I do have an entry I have to put here. Then I have a minus 0.92308. And then I have this one, minus 0.34, sorry, 38. 84, okay, hello, 462. So at this particular point, I have everything filled out. Now, if you remember last time, I sort of bailed on one thing, and that is, yeah, that's 300 pounds, but I didn't really identify it as being 300 pounds yet, but now I can. Okay. So if you look at this, I got 3 equations, I got 4 entries, but this one, 300 pounds. Oops. So what I need to do is I need to take this down here and put 300 in it. Now, I kind of pushed the landscape here, so I think what I'm going to do, get this junk, kind of slide it under here. Hello? Man, it's really lagging. I don't know what's going on. There's probably some weird process running or something. So now I'm just in the arena of matrices. So I'm going to take that And normally if I was writing on the board, I couldn't do this, but now I can do this. I'm going to go ahead and take all of this. I've already written it all. Do a copy. Slide across here and sort of drop it right here. I've learned that it drops underneath whatever mark I make. And then, okay, then I have this now. And now I'll go ahead and copy all this, but I'm going to erase a part of it. Do Control C. I'm going to drop it maybe right there. However, what I really need to do, I need to take this off and these little chicken scratches around here off. And if I multiply the 300 times this column, I get, okay, it's a minus, so I get minus, and then I get nothing but 0, 0, and 300. And then I get, on the right hand side, I still get this right here. So what I've done is I took this column, multiply it times here, left it on the left hand for the moment. I still left it on the left hand side. But now what I'm going to do, since it's a minus, I can move it to the right hand side. And so let's see if I can kind of, so do that, move it to the right hand side, then I get that. Because it changes signs, because it was minus 300 on the left hand side, move it over, it becomes plus 300. So I just changed that minus sign into equal. There we go. Now I still have this in Octave or MATLAB and this in there. So I really need to go put that one back in there. Okay, so I think I may, instead of typing all those numbers, I may go back and do the TAB. Come on, what's going on here? Which was this. I'm going to go type. This was in there last time, so I'm going to retype it in there. Okay, so RAB equal to, and it's a 2 space or a comma, minus 6 space or a comma, 1.5, and I get that. Now I got UAB equal to RAB divided by the norm of RAB. Gives me those numbers again that are listed. So these numbers here are listed right here. So how, okay, so what I've got here, let's go back up here. And this is the reason I left this up on top. And actually, I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to say this is UA. You have to remember, you know, TAB is attached to UAB, and TAC is attached to UAC. So these are the vectors, and the reason I'm doing that is because I have these in Octave, but they are not, right now, I've got a 1 by 3. One row, oh, go away. One row, 3 columns. So what I need is a 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and 1 column. So luckily, MATLAB or Octave obliges very easily to that. So if I look at UAB, it's a 1 by 3, but the UAB with a apostrophe is like in MATLAB and Octave, that's like taking a transpose. So it turns it. So now I can come up with the matrix equaling to, oh, you don't do that, you do equal. UAB transpose. Now I'm going to do it wrong first. I'm going to put that UAC transpose, and then UAB transpose, so what it did is it stacked them on top of each other. So that's wrong. But if I replace the semicolon with a space or a comma, I'm going to do a comma there and a space there to show you can do a space or a comma, then I get the matrix. And so there's my matrix. There's my K matrix. To my right-hand side, which I always just call RHS, right-hand side, is a 0, oh, not an O, but a 0, new line, then 300, and there we go. Oh, okay. Right-hand side equals 2. Do this again. 0, new line, 0, new line, and 300. And now, so now I'll do the inverse of K times the right-hand side. And, uh-oh, that doesn't look right. But I'm just going to go, there is no way that's correct. But I'm going to write it down, and we'll decipher it in a minute. Here we go. So I got minus 1300, 1400, and it says 0. There is no way. Okay, let's see what I did wrong. Can't be. TAD. TAD. No way. That is completely wrong. But, you know, wait a minute. Z. Let's make sure I did this correct. Okay. First, did I put it? It's going in the minus Z direction. I get, let's see, just double check, TAB. I should get it going a little bit to the right. As far as the Y, it's going back. As far as the Z, it's going up. So I feel like I'm okay there. Now, TAC going back or forward. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is the X. And this is the X. Uh-oh. Because to get from A, I had to go this direction, and then I had to go this direction. So the TAB, that has to be negative. That value has to be negative. Okay. Whoa. I made this mistake the other day. Okay, let's see what I did here. I went minus 6 in the J, but that is not plus 2. That is minus 2. And what? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, let's double check this. Okay. I went down 2.5. I went backwards in the J. I went backwards in the I. Okay, wait a minute. Go away. This has to be a minus sign. Then I went up. So in fact, there's a minus sign sitting right there. Believe it or not, I think everything is A-OK because the magnitude's still the same. I think what happens is this becomes a minus. So this becomes a minus. Now, if I made one mistake, it's possible I made 2. Okay, where's my pen? Okay. Here, I'm going to make it blue or something here. There's my... And why is it making it bend like that? I don't know what it's doing. So, made a mistake there. Let's see if I made a mistake on the second one. So there's my first mistake. Let's see if I've made another mistake. Okay. Okay, this has to go, it says positive. That's the positive direction. So yes. Is that negative? The y direction. Now, at first glance, you may say it's still 6 on either one, but this was a different height than that one. So this the value here, it may not match that one. But the direction's okay. And then the direction in the z, it goes up a little bit more than this one. Now, I'm going to go ahead with it with my fix on TAB and see what we got here. Okay, here's my fix. And let's see what we get here. So say it's not equal to that. There's no way that's going to be the case. Okay, so let me go fix my TAB. There's my RAB. That was supposed to be a minus. Okay. UAB. Okay, that changes. It changes it to a minus sign. Okay, now I'll go ahead and do that. Looks like I'm okay there. The right hand side should not change. All right, so that had a big effect. So one little mess up, which actually didn't occur today, it occurred the other day. 205.26. I'm still not sure that's right, but actually, there's no way what the last thing. There's just no way. And minus 410. 0.53. So the first thing is, I'll look at the numbers in a minute. First thing is that became a minus. All that means is instead of hello computer, hello. Okay. All that means is my assumption that it is going this way is totally wrong. It actually goes the opposite direction of the direction of that vector. That makes sense because it's drawn as like a funny rod, and it's not in tension, it's in compression. It's sort of holding it up. So I did that on purpose, but I will tell you I didn't make that other mistake on purpose. But hey, that's the way the world works. There's lots of mistakes. That's why you have to check things. Okay, now I'm going to check the answer. So to do that, I got to figure out what the problem is. 353. 3, either dash or dot, 53. I don't remember. But I do know it's 353. Okay, so if I go here, gosh, this thing is slow. I'm going to have to try to figure out what's going on here. Huh? Oh. Did I get the wrong number? Is that 353? Wait a minute. Is it F353? 3-53. Oh, what? Wait, he wants to know the strut. Determine the... Oh, the largest weight that can be supported. What? The tension in each cable cannot exceed 300. Oh, I read the problem wrong. Okay, we can fix this. Okay. Here we go. If 300 pounds gives you that, the question is, if we want to, here's what we'll do. I read the problem wrong. So let's do this. Boy, I goofed this one up big time. instead of 300 pounds here, I'm going to go back and say it's 1 pound. I'm going to go back and say it's 1 pound. For 300, you'd get this, right? Now, if you got 1 pound, what would you get out of here? TAB, TAC, and TAD. So this is easy enough because all I need to do is go change my right-hand side. That's not where the right-hand side is. This is where the right-hand side is. So I'm going to change my right-hand side, which is now that. I'm going to change my right-hand side to this. Looks like rain out there. So with my right-hand side that, now I go back and take the inverse times the right-hand side. Okay, this is funny. 0.68. So if I put 1 pound on there, 6421, then 0.73684, and minus, okay, what was that? 1.36842. Now, okay, I just jumped. I didn't read the problem right, so I've kind of botched this whole thing up, but the method still is fine. If the tension cannot exceed 300 pounds, what's the largest weight? So now all I do, okay, hello, is I go over here and I say 1 pound to give me that, but it can't be more than 300. So the largest for 1 pound is that. So what do I multiply 1 pound times what equals? So here we go. So I want 0.73. I'm picking the largest one. 0.73684 times the weight, because the weight is 1 now, equals to 300. So if I put in, and we'll double check this, 300 divided by 0.73684 gives me 407.14 pounds. Now, with that, let's double check. What would happen if instead of 1 right there, I put 407 pounds? That's easy enough. So go back to my right-hand side. And instead of 1 pound, I put 407 pounds. And I'll even put the decimal point. So there's my force or weight. Do my right hand, do my solution, and lo and behold, we see the middle number. So if I do put 400 pounds in TAB, TAC, and TAD, this would be this, this, and this. This would be, well, this was the 300, so we matched that one. The other one's 278. I forgot. 57. And the other one was minus 557.14. Minus because I made the assumption it was in tension, and in fact it's not. It's in the opposite direction. So, did we get the right answer now? Let's see. Okay, the weight, 407. So we got that. And then this other was the force in the strut was 557, which is that. He never asked for that, but it's less than this anyway. So sorry for the botch up, but that's okay. You just keep going through stuff. Key is if you botch up, you just accept it, go on, figure out what you did wrong, go from there. Let me see if I can change. Now I can change. So this is one of the unit vectors. So what I did, again, in review, I kind of took my unit vectors. I goofed this one, but then I fixed it. And then I did this one, I think, second. And now I did this one second. And then this one third. Columned them, made them in a column. You can see them here. So you got one of them. Here's my first one that I kind of botched. Then now that I can change colors, and I don't understand why sometimes this does. And then that one. So those are the unit vectors. Then I identified them as a unit vector here and fixed the mistake I made. So there's my big mistake. I identified them that way. I identified them because now I can go back to MATLAB, Octave, whatever you want to call it, and turn them into column vectors, list them in the matrix, and then just carry on from there. And it's surprising how that just one minus sign right there made the answers so bizarre. But, you know, that's life. So it's 11:44. I really don't feel like doing another one. We could talk for a minute about, do I have 4 up here? Yeah, I do. Chapter 4. Hello? Okay, so chapter 4 deals with moments. I think I talked for a minute about this. And so you'll have to get used to, okay, so let's, okay, here we go. I tend to do moments this way. That's the way I find, because to me, I can actually carry this out. Even if I make a mistake, I can see everything listed there and go back through it. So what I'll do next time is I'll start doing problems in this chapter 4. And there's a lot of side issues there, but, you know, it turns out I always go back to this because it always works. So did all that make sense, I guess? Sorry for the mess up, but I mean, that's life. I get to the point where I've done this so long, you know, it's not like I don't care, but I don't. You know, that's fine. You don't make that up. Well, are y'all have any questions? Oh, really? Oh, this really? Oh, okay.
This is just basically
Review that.
but in real world.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's something interesting when you take dynamics. If you do A cross B, you get a vector C. I did a test. I showed you how to do a test because the answer C, if you dotted the A, is 0. If you dot the B, is 0. So that gives you a way to test your cost product. That's okay. So, and it's really handy in dynamics, especially in a long problem, and you're like, oh, geez, do I have this right? I don't know. And you just look up there and you dot it in your mind, and you're like, oh yeah, it's right. You can just go on from there. So that kind of stuff is handy. What was that? There was a big flash on the screen. I don't know.